Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dinner for Two. Today's episode is a good one. We're talking about red flags, and
It's gonna be good.
yeah, red flags and real talk when love isn't what it looks like. So, our theme today is really around exposing subtle signs of toxic love, toxic behavior, manipulation in relationships, and just things that make you feel imbalanced when you, hey, when people say imbalanced when you are in a relationship. So let's talk about some of those red flags. We're going to give you some things to think about today, and hopefully you will leave here understanding red flags, running away from red flags, not ignoring red flags, and knowing when you are at a point where you just need to let go. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's talk about it then. So, let's start with, whenever you start a relationship, there's always this vision or this hope of where this is going to go, where it'll end up. And sometimes, I'm just be honest, sometimes it's not going nowhere, but it's fun or it's whatever. But sometimes we get caught up in what I like to call the blinded by the butterflies stage. And this often causes us to miss signs. So what do you think about just kind of that blinded by the butterflies?
Well, I think that's probably the first part is because there's got to be some sort of attraction. And so the attraction is what creates the butterflies. And then the butterflies can be misleading.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes that's like you've kind of fallen under the influence of this emotional chemistry that is going on right now. And it's not necessarily sometimes not what you think it is.
Right. And sometimes you don't even understand the origin of why you feel what you feel. So a lot of times you really need to take a step back instead of taking a step forward.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a big difference between intensity and intimacy.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times we get caught up. Those butterflies make us think, oh, this is so intense. This is so great. It's so perfect. Oh, my gosh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's
Not
amazing.
Not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
So then life turns, and then you realize that, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. So the butterflies, sometimes that's that emotional thing that happens inside of you that makes you think everything is great and whatever. But when those butterflies when they calm themselves,
it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, what are you left with? Yeah. Because again, that emotion goes, it flutters like a butterfly.
Right.
That was cute. I like it. All right. So there's some kind of, let's go with 5.
Okay.
Go with 5 red flags.
Okay.
We're going to go with kind of 5 red flags that people often overlook.
All right.
You want to hit one?
All right. So now you've gotten over the initial, you met, she's attractive, he's attractive, you like blue, he likes blue, you have the same toothbrush.
No, we don't have the same
car.
We don't have the same toothbrush.
Same color toothbrush.
Oh, okay. No, we can't have the same toothbrush.
You drive the same car. Your mother's both are from North Carolina. Whatever that is that gets you started.
Right.
Now you're getting into the nuts and bolts of the relationship. And so frequent lying.
Ooh.
Frequent lying. There's no such thing as a big or a small lie. Either it's a lie or it's not a lie.
Yeah.
And
even
then,
a half truth is a whole lie.
Absolutely.
That's what my grandma says.
And then you have, you've seen it, but you didn't pay any attention. Like you were going through the line and they asked a simple question and the answer was no, but they casually said yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that yours? You know it's not yours, and you absolutely say, yeah, that's mine, that's mine.
Or one that's even more prevalent is that your car? Is that your house? Or what kind of life you live? And you start telling people, you sell people on this dream of who they're going to be connected to or who they're going to be connected with, and you realize you don't even really have a job, and you're not only talking about you don't have a job, or you've sold this. You're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're doing all this stuff, and yet you're working on a rap career for like 40 years, and you still are not doing that. So you're no longer an entrepreneur, you're a bum. You need to get up and go get a job or something to that effect. So even those kinds of lies, and they start out early in a relationship because people start by saying things because you meet their representative. They want you to meet the very best version of themselves, and often It's their own fantasy that they're creating for you. So
Oh,
they're
they're
letting
drawing you into
yeah, they're
that.
drawing you into their fantasy of what they believe it could be.
You know, and I can remember reading a story last week where a judge, if you can believe this,
I do.
she lied about her military service.
Wow. Okay.
Now, why did you not think somebody was going to be able to figure that one out?
Well, I mean, we've seen that all the time, though, with people when you have, like the lady that lied about her race. It
That's
was,
true.
yeah. So, I mean, or whatever. So you just have, those are big ones, but
Yeah.
I'm talking even the subtle ones, like you said, and we let it go because we're like, oh, he was just playing, or well, maybe that's not what he meant, or you start being gaslighted and they tell you that's not what you heard or that's not what you thought or
I
that's
didn't
not.
say that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't say
I
that.
didn't
I
say
didn't say that when you actually did.
But it's corrosive to the foundation is the point.
It is.
And so
It
it's
is.
small or big, white or black,
Mm-hmm.
they're
Yeah.
still corrosive.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. That's the first one.
The next one is avoiding serious conversations. So this is when you want to talk about hard things or things that are important to you, and they dip out of the conversation.
For instance,
Let's say you've been together for a while and you keep talking about your future. You keep talking about where we're going. Yeah, I went there. You keep talking about your future. Stretch your eyes at me. I get it. Yeah. But you keep talking about your future. You want to know, where's this relationship going and where's this? And they got that look.
and like, what you talking about?
Right. Well, we're fine the way we are.
Right.
And you start talking about what it is that you desire and they don't want to hear it. They dismiss it. They make you feel like you're wrong for having those thoughts and feelings. They make you feel like you need to settle or lower your standards because in doing so, then you are being agreeable.
Right.
And if you're not, then now you're difficult or complex or too hard. And they use that as an escape from the conversation.
Wow. Or they want to be in a relationship bad enough to deny what they really want.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
and so you
ooh.
like to work out? Oh, yeah, I love to work out. You do? What gym do you go to? Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So that's that convoluted for the sake of company.
How about that was the first one too? That's the frequent lying. So
Yeah.
you might not think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
How did you lose so much weight? Oh, I used to go to I went to the gym all the time. No, you used Ozempic. That's you didn't go to
now
the
that's
gym
real.
to
That's
lose
real.
that.
That's real. That's
Yeah.
real. That's
So,
real.
Yeah,
That's real.
those, but neither one of those are good. The
Yeah.
frequent lying or the avoiding the serious conversations about where's this relationship really going. Because if you don't want to be with me long term, tell me now.
Yeah, and at least give me the respect or give me enough care to allow me to make the decision that's best for me.
Right.
Like allow me to make a decision about what I want to do and what I want to be in and how I want to do this. But yeah, don't put me in a situation where I'm thinking something that will never be. That's hard. That's difficult. And it's not fair. It's very selfish, as a matter of fact.
And at that point, you don't really have all the information. Because if I'm not being honest with you and candid and open about where this relationship is going, then can I really make an informed decision about our future or my future?
No, and if all I know is your representative, then
That's
do I
true.
know that I want to be with you? Or am I in love with or falling in love with the person that's presenting themselves? So be honest up front. I mean, if you suck, then you just suck. Just say, hey, I suck. A lot of people want to be with somebody that suck. That might be great.
True.
Yeah. So, or my definition of suck, maybe somebody else's definition of love. I mean, we wrote a book about that. Crystal Lewis and I wrote a book about that, The Power of the P, a while back, like several years ago now. And it talked about the different type of men. And people thought maybe it would be a male bashing book, but it wasn't. It was one of those things where you really and truly have to know the kind of person you are to determine what's going to be best for you.
Right.
And I find that interesting. I always use needy Nick because my personality and the things that I have on my plate, I can't have a needy Nick. That's one of the characters in the book. But I can't have a needy person. But if you're a person who needs to be needed and you need people calling you every 15 minutes and that's how you feel like you're loved, then needy Nick may be for you. It's just not for me.
Right.
And it doesn't make him bad. It just makes him not for me. But if you don't get the truth out of people and if you can't have deep conversations about finances, you can't have deep conversations about goals. You can't have deep conversations about your credit score because can we buy something or can we not?
Right.
I mean, if we can't have deep conversations about those kinds of things, about children, about rearing children, about your religion, about your faith, if you can't have those kinds of conversations and they're always dismissed, that's a red flag, sis. That's a red flag. Controlling behavior.
It's going to be a problem.
Ooh. Love doesn't need a leash.
Yes.
Love does not need a leash.
It's going to be a problem.
Yeah. So what bothers me about that one is when people feel like they can, controlling behavior starts so subtly. Often, sometimes, not all times, because sometimes somebody may just snatch you by the head and you like that. I don't snatch me, but you might be a snatch person. Again, back to the type of person you are. But for me, controlling behavior may start as something as simple as, you sure you want to wear that? Or you talking to your mama again on the phone? Or you got to go to church again? Or the kind that really floors me is when their crisis, then they have a crisis every time you need to go do something or whatever. And you may think at first that's so cute. He just wants me to be with him all the time.
Right.
Until you're trying to go to the grocery store and you got a GPS in your car and, and under your seat and somebody is following you behind the road, hiding behind the bushes.
Right.
Something crazy. I mean, so again, there are a lot of controlling behaviors, and often, not always, but sometimes, those things lead to more abusive situations.
Right. The freedom and trust that are necessary in order for a relationship to thrive is really what we're talking about here. And so when you're talking about controlling behavior, in a relationship, that's never going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
It may look cute in the beginning, but long term, that's not going to be an effective way for that relationship to grow and thrive.
Yeah, and think about your thoughts. Are you allowed to have your own thoughts? Are you allowed to have your own feelings and views about things? Are you allowed to disagree? Right. Are you allowed to disagree? Or is everything then, do they become a victim now when you disagree with them? Right. Is everything now, they spiral into this space of, oh, now you hate me and now I'm a horrible person. Now they're gaslighting and guilting you into now feeling like your feelings shouldn't matter.
Right.
And theirs are more important. All of those things are really hard. But when you see it, you realize that it's generally attached to something way before you. And they have some work to do before they're ready to be in a committed relationship.
Well, and I like the way all of these episodes connect, because we talked about that before, when you can't be madder than me about a situation that we're talking about that you caused.
Correct.
So once again, you're avoiding a serious conversation about what the real topic is. Right. And that's never a good thing either.
Correct.
And so we want people to always make sure that you're listening, that you're going back, because the connective tissue between all of these episodes is what's really important. And so we want to put a number of things in your tool bag so that you can always have something to reference, because one of your favorite statements is, if the only thing you have is a hammer,
everything looks like a nail.
Exactly.
If all you got is a hammer in your toolbox, everything looks like a nail. So you definitely, and you come at it the same way, hammer it down. Yeah. So so you definitely need more than one tool in your toolbox.
Yeah.
The next one is uncontrolled anger. And I said this, passion without peace is dynamite. Passion without peace is something that will destroy you. Uncontrolled anger, sometimes people walk into a room with baggage, and their backpacks are so heavy. It's so full of bricks and stuff, and you walk in and say good morning, and it's just out of control.
Right.
So uncontrolled anger can be something that is scary, but you can't dismiss it. If they get angry over everything, and you can notice it not even with you. If you think, well, he don't talk to me like that, but he does it with everybody else, your turn's coming.
Oh, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Whatever they'll do with you, they'll do to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I hopefully people are noticing that you couple those two words. You
Mm-hmm.
said uncontrolled
Mm-hmm.
and anger.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not saying that anger is not something that's going to happen.
Oh no,
That's
no,
a
no, no.
natural emotion.
Absolutely.
But it's the uncontrolled part
Right.
that's going to be the problem. Yeah.
Right. Right. When they can't stop and they can't pause or can't take a second, particularly if you point it out. If you say, hey, you're spiraling, you're blow. I see. I
Mm-hmm.
notice that you are starting to feel uncomfortable in this, or this is
Mm-hmm.
starting to make you feel uncomfortable. Can we take a minute? Let's
Right.
take a minute. And if they can't do that, and they got to keep going and keep going and keep going, and they get elevated in that, yeah, that's a sign. That's a
Yes.
sign. Now the good part about it is, again, like you said, it's uncontrolled anger. I want to
Mm-hmm.
be clear. Anger happens. You are
Yes.
a human.
Yes.
So even Jesus got angry. Even Jesus was sad. So all of these emotions that people try to make you think you can't have, or you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't experience, that is fake. That's false. Stop believing that. Your emotions are real. You can have them, but you must control them.
Absolutely.
And that's the key. So if you don't know how to do that, then reach out. I can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespecting boundaries.
Now that one right there, it's going to take about 6 weeks because boundaries are one. Sometimes people don't understand what theirs are,
Mm-hmm.
and then the relationships they're in, people don't respect
Mm-hmm.
boundaries. So they feel like once you're in a relationship, everything is okay. Why
No.
can't I see your cell phone? Why can't I go in your purse? Why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? If you loved me,
Ooh, that's manipulation, though.
if you
That is
loved
strict
me,
manipulation. If
none
I
of that
love,
stuff would be a
and if
problem.
you
So
love
you
me, you
must be
wouldn't make
trying to
you wouldn't
hide
make that
something.
happen.
Yeah. So once again, if you know who I am, and we've already established that I don't frequently lie, I don't avoid serious conversations, I don't have any controlling behavior, and my anger is not uncontrolled, then what is it that you're seeking at this point? You don't really need any more validation of who I am. So now I would question you if you're asking me that. So do you know who I am?
And sometimes the answer is no, because
Absolutely.
people are ever evolving. So
Yeah.
the big thing with boundaries is that you can't expect people to hold to a boundary that you're flexible on. So
Mm.
if you're not clear on your boundary, then of course nobody's going to stick there. I don't know whether you mean that or not. Like
Right.
yesterday it bothered you, but today it doesn't. Like it. What do you mean? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what that means. The other thing is you have to communicate your boundaries.
Yes.
You can't ever assume people understand where your limits are.
Mm-hmm.
You have to speak those things. You have to say, that's not okay. Or I've established a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what that is so that we won't have this issue. Or when someone crosses a boundary that has been uncommunicated, you have to pause in that moment and say, listen, this isn't, my being upset with you right now isn't fair because I didn't tell you this was a boundary for me, but it is. So now let me tell you what this boundary is, and then give them space and grace to move past it and not disrespect it
Now,
again.
see that you need to say again.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things that we talked about in previous episodes, people have said, okay, well, you told me what that was, but you didn't tell me how to fix that. Well, what
Mhm.
do I need to do to avoid that? So that warrants repeating right there when you explain to somebody that I didn't tell you what my boundary was. So let me explain. So if you would tell them that again, I think that would be
I
helpful.
think you just did.
Yeah. That
You just told them.
that would be very, very helpful, because now that's the effective communication that we talked about initially, is if I haven't communicated that to you, can I really expect you to understand what the issue is at this point?
Yeah, it's that goes back into those unwritten expectations or those unexpressed expectations.
Mm.
And assumptions that are made because you would think people should know. Well, you should know that you don't talk to me like that. Well, no, not if they talk to everybody else like that, and you
Right.
saw it as a red flag, but you just didn't think it was
You
going
didn't
to
say
hit
anything.
you.
It was cute then.
Yeah, it was cute then.
Yeah,
Or well, he ain't talking to me like that until he does, or until
Mhm.
she does, and then it's a situation. So yeah, I would definitely say that a partner who will cross your lines will eventually erase them. So I want you to be mindful of that. If they will cross it,
Mm.
after you've established it, they will eventually try to erase them. And it'll make you start questioning, is this a boundary at all? But you also have to be able to let people know when they are crossing a boundary and back them up. You have to be able to say, I'm sorry, this will not happen. This is a boundary. You and I are very clear that we will not do this, or I will not accept that. And you seem to want to continue that. So I'm going to let you have your space and remove yourself. Because it's up to you to protect your boundaries. It's up to you. It's up to you to set them. It's up to you to communicate them. And it's up to you to hold them and hold people accountable to them.
And we're talking about relationships. So understand too that applies in your marriage.
Yeah.
You
All
don't
relationships.
Just,
this
just
isn't
don't
just
get a
marriage.
you don't get a free reign simply because we're in a relationship. Because a lot of times people take liberties in a relationship that they would not on the outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in the outside world. So understand too that those boundaries have to be respected within the relationship, even more so.
Yeah, there's also another one. I know we said we give you 5, but this is like a 6th one, and that's just kind of being understanding that there are double standards.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to when you notice that there are double standards, you can, or he can, but you can't, or she can, but you can't.
Yes.
Or you better and I better not, or I don't have to worry about that with you, or you can do it, but I can't. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because that level of imbalance is something that will bleed over into other areas of your life. And if equality is off the table, emotional safety won't be on it either. Those things go together. So you'll have to be able to figure out, why is it okay for you to have one set of standards and I have another? And the whole, I'm a man, you're a woman, so I can go out and hang out all night, but if you do it, something's wrong with you. All that kind of craziness, that's gaslighting, that's manipulation, that's foolishness.
Okay.
No, if we're going to have a standard, then we need to have a standard and let that be that. So I'm going to just tell you really quick, just for the sake of time, let's go ahead and talk about really when to stay and when to walk away. And again, now I'm not telling you to walk away from anything. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you some things that we think matter. Now, again, you set your own standard. Again, this is information.
What works for you? Yeah.
What works for you? So let me be clear. The first is, ask yourself, can this red flag be resolved?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is yes, and you know that there's some accountability there, that there wants to be, that there's a desire to change, and then there is evidence of change, then okay, you fixed it. But then, just make sure that you're clear that it's fixed and it's not a temporary, because again, that's a whole nother topic.
It's not a modification.
Yes.
It's actually a transformation.
Yeah, it's not a modification, it's a transformation. That was good. The next one is when walking away, when you feel like walking away would be weakness instead of wisdom, then you have to ask yourself, why do you feel like that's weak? You have to realize that sometimes red flags are messages. They're there for you. They're warning signs. That's what happens when you need to make a decision that's good for you. So I would definitely say, ask yourself, do you feel like you're being weak? And if you do, why?
Right.
Because don't allow your feeling of being weak, or feeling of disappointing other people, or feeling of what people may think about you being in a relationship and now you're not again, or whatever, all those things that play in the back of your mind, or your hope that this person may get better in 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things. Just make sure that you're using the wisdom that you see through the red flags.
Because the people that you think that are actually paying attention to what's going on and they care about what you have or what you're doing, they really don't
care. I can assure you.
Don't care.
I can assure you.
Yeah,
I can assure you.
They simply don't care.
I can assure you.
Right.
And you also want to ask yourself, is this costing you your peace and your purpose?
It's this relationship. It's not walking away.
Yeah.
It's staying. You're exchanging staying for your peace and your purpose.
Yeah. It's having company more important than you having your peace and your purpose.
Okay.
So that's something. So let's give them, I definitely want you to know that you can't heal in the same environment that hurt you. So you're going to have to figure out what those things are. Leave you with an acronym, because, I always like acronyms. So let's do red with red flags, since we're doing red flags.
Okay.
All right. So what I want you to do with red is to recognize the signs.
Okay.
Recognize the signs. When you see them, say what they are. Evaluate their impact. So that's your E. And your D is decide with courage. Decide with courage.
In or out, but decide with courage.
Decide with courage. Understand that you can do that. You can do that. And
These are all tools, then you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So red is a tool. It's a process that you can walk yourself through. Just recognize the signs. And if you see something, evaluate the impact. How much does this impact you? And then decide with courage. Make a decision about whether this is something you can live with or something that you can't.
All right. And
Wanna
so
do another?
every healthy relationship starts with honesty, because we talked about that. We talked about the frequent lying. And even if the truth hurts, eventually it'll heal.
Yeah, eventually it will. You can't live on a lie.
Yeah.
Living on a lie is just real unstable.
Okay.
Got one more acronym?
All right.
Real quick.
All right.
Real quick. We got to go though. Real quick. You want to do the next one?
All right. So flag. Flag is face the feelings.
Yep.
Look at the patterns, because one time is a issue.
One time may be an accident.
Two times a pattern.
Two times. One time may be an incident.
Yeah.
2 times may be an issue. 3 times.
3 times is a pattern.
3 times is a pattern.
Okay. And so the pattern is going to reveal the truth about a person's emotions and their mental and maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their mental health and their maturity.
Yeah, you definitely want to know that.
So that's F and L. F is face the feelings. L is look at the patterns. A is acknowledge the impact.
Yep. Don't minimize it. If it hurts, it hurts.
Right.
If it's concerning, if it's scary, if it makes you uneasy, if it makes you feel unsafe, acknowledge that. That behavior has this impact. And then again, decide with courage.
There you go.
Yep.
And then lastly, G, get honest about the future.
Yep.
With you.
Yep.
So be honest with you about the future.
Yeah, and be honest with you about what you see, what you hear, what you know. Because again, you can make it look as pretty as you want it to look, but someone said once before, I don't even remember who said that, but someone said, you can put a lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig.
Right.
You can put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig. So you just be mindful of what that is. Is there accountability? Are they too stubborn to give an apology? Are they unwilling to recognize the impact even as you're sharing it? Do they disrespect your boundaries? But you got to get honest about whether you're willing to live with those things. And some people may decide, having a piece of man is better than no man at all, or having a piece of woman is better than no woman at all, or whatever it is. And you may be okay with that. But you make that decision and then live with whatever it is. But we got a couple seconds left, so let's go ahead and give the challenge for this week.
Okay.
So this challenge is flag it or fix it. It's an exercise. So what we want you to do is one red flag that you may have overlooked in the past. Just determine what it is or excused. The next one is an area that you have seen growth in them or seen growth in you. And then evaluate one boundary or behavior that you want to reinforce or that they want to reinforce in the relationship going forward. And what we're choosing to fix and what we do and need to do to fix it is all in your hands. That's all your responsibility. But you got to be able to choose and make a good decision.
And the beauty of this podcast is that you can always stop it and run it back. So you don't have to. There's no rush to get through this. We're trying to be mindful of our time, so we make sure that you're getting something that's insightful and concise.
Right.
But you can always run this back. And so what's really helpful in this particular one about flag it and fix it is that we also say, whatever you're not working on, you're choosing. And so you've got to make those choices every day. Once again, it goes back to the early episodes when you said always make good choices. So every day you got to make good choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully today what we've given you has been helpful. Hopefully. Impactful.
Yeah.
And once again, if it's helped you and it's been impactful, then share it with somebody.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely share it. Definitely share it. Make sure other people are seeing it, hearing it. And again, don't hold it for yourself. That's hoarding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And this concludes this episode of Dinner for Two. We'll see you next time. Thank you.